Okay, Jonathan Ruiz, your accounting coach, survival tips. So again, I'm back and I'm so excited because we are moving to a new topics and a new subject actually. So this is going to be exciting. But again, I'm giving you the concepts, the basic definition, theories. Okay, I'm not jumping into calculations, how to solve problems. I'm just giving the concepts and ideas. And of course, there are also examples and multiple choice problems or questions during these video lessons. But before I move on to the topic of today, I would just like to say thank you to those who downloaded my 7 habits of highly effective students. So I already shared it with more than 1,000 students. So that is amazing. So for my subscribers in YouTube and followers in Facebook, thank you so much, and you can share it with your friends. You can tag them. So the link is just here. You can go on the description. You can still sign up and you can share this link with your friends. Again, this is on the description. You can get it from there. Or you can go to my Facebook page. There's a link for this. You can just sign up and then an email will be received and it will be sent to you. You can download it from that link. Okay? So let's move on for today. Our topic will be like what I have said. It's going to be management consultancy. Okay, so the management advisory services. But before we go to the calculations and other discussions, what we need to know is the basic cost concepts, the very foundation. Okay, ano ba yung mga cost classifications, types of cost na may encounter mo? Always remember what is really important, uh, the concepts, the theories first before you move on to any calculations. Kasi minsan, the problem is yung estudyante, they focus already on calculations, problem solving without really understanding the concepts or the theories. Okay? Lalo na sa CPAL, sometimes mas marami pa ang theories na binibigay before the calculation or problem solving. Okay, so we need to understand that. Okay, so our agenda today is, like what I have said, we are going to define, okay, what are the types of costs, and I'm going to give some examples, okay, why they are important, okay, kasi may mga methods na kailangan gamitin o i-apply later. Like, okay, variable costing, absorption costing, throughput costing, ABC costing, okay, joint products. But before you move on to those topics, kailangan maintindihan mo muna ano yung mga cost classifications and where you are going to classify them or where you're going to put them. Okay, so very important maintindihan ang definitions and types. Okay? So moving on. So what is cost? Okay, this is a very simple meaning. Sacrifices made in order to achieve the objectives. So this is the company's cost. Ano to? Kung ikaw ay sa personal natin, okay, ito yung mga gastos mo bago ka, okay, let's say your goal is to become a certified public accountant. Ano yung cost mo for becoming a certified public accountant? So that is the money, that is the Bachelor of Science in Accountancy degree, ano yung 5 years study na ginawa mo, the CPA review center na pinag-reviewhan mo, yung tuition fee. So those are the costs. Not only that, that includes also your effort, your service, your hardships, your challenges. No, yun yung application sa real life. So ganun din sa businesses. They have their cost to sacrifice. Sa pag-start ng business, there are businesses that you really need to use money. Some, if it's a consulting or professional services, very small amount of capital or cost you need to do, but more on time and effort. So ano yung i-give up or sacrifices mo? Ano yung cost? Magiging gastos mo. Okay? Ang minsan yung gastos is pwedeng interchange yung term sa expenses. Okay? Now, what are the types of costs? So, meron tayong different types as to financial statement presentation, as to purpose, as to traceability, as to behavior, as to controllability, and as to role in decision making. So, iba't iba yung types of costs. So I will give the different types in relation to this. Okay, so isa-isahin natin. As a financial statement presentation. So dito papasok yung cost of sales and operating expenses. And of course, there is also financing costs. Okay, but exclude financing costs for the moment. So my focus in the cost of sales and operating expenses. So dapat ngayon pa lang, you already know, okay, what are those costs that goes to cost of sales and what are those costs that goes to operating expense. Okay, kasi ang point of view natin ngayon is as management consultant, okay, or management accountant, or this is all about management accounting. Okay, so you are, can we say cost controller? Okay, so you act as a cost controller. Sa cost of sales, meron pa rin yung different types depending on the nature of the business. Kung merchandising, manufacturing, and we have also a special classification of cost. Okay, pagdating sa merchandising, no, I just use acronym PP, which is the purchase price plus the others, this directly attributable cost. Sa merchandising, so this includes all the units purchased with your intention to resell it. So with little or no alteration, especially if you are in trading business. So meron kang inventory, then you sell it. Okay, cost of goods sold ka kagad. So simple lang yung calculation mo dyan. So alam mo na yan, beginning inventory plus purchases equal total goods available for sale, then less ending inventory, that is your cost of sales. Sa manufacturing, so then the little bit of complications comes. Okay, kasi marami na. Okay, papasok yung purchases, papasok yung manufacturing cost mo. Nandiyan yung direct materials, direct labor, overhead. So dito ka na magka-calculate ng cost of goods manufactured. Okay, papasok na rin dyan yung mga work in process. And then, nandyan din ang overheads. Okay, sa overheads is, dyan papasok yung other product costs aside from the direct materials and direct labor. So all those that are indirect. And then we have special classification, which is the prime cost and conversion cost. So later, I will give you this is actually just a classification of prime cost. What is that? Direct materials and direct labor. Conversion cost, so what is that? So that is direct labor and manufacturing overhead. Okay, it's very simple. Binibigay sa multiple choice questions, so you need to remember. Now, manufacturing. So like what I have said, ito yung cost na pasok dyan. Ito yung direct materials, which are those items that integral part of the finished product. It can be conveniently traced, no? So madali siyang i-identify kasi direct nga. Then direct labor, so this consists of those labor costs. Can be traced easily as well in the creation of the product. These are the labor costs such as salary, okay, and other benefits. Sa manufacturing overhead, you have indirect materials and indirect labor. Example na indirect materials like lubricants, cleaning supplies na ginagamit sa automobile assembly plant. So that are indirect materials. Indirect labor, dito papasok yung maintenance workers, janitors, security guards. Okay? For special classification, I already mentioned. So that is direct materials plus direct labor. So add lang yung direct materials mo and direct labor. Sa calculations, napapasama yan. Ganun din yung conversion cost, which is direct labor plus overhead. Okay? So moving on, okay, like what I have said, we have a special classification, which is the prime cost and conversion cost. So that's already discussed. For operating expenses, they are divided as well. Andyan yung, okay, another term for operating expenses is the cost to sell. Okay? So for selling expense, this means the time the product is being offered for sale up to the time the product is delivered. This includes all post-sale expense. Okay? So general and administrative expense, ito naman yung general administration and management of the company expense. So dito papasok yung mga utilities, dito papasok yung mga amortization, depreciation, okay? Sa selling expense, nandiyan yung mga salaries ng salesman, commissions, okay? Now, moving on. So as to purpose naman, ano naman yung cost classification natin? We have product cost. Diyan is, ang tatandaan mo, simple lang naman yan. The other term, which is inventoriable cost. So what is the definition of inventoriable cost? So these are matched with the units of products, meaning they are recognized as an expense on the income statement only when the units are sold. So pagka nabenta mo na siya, hanggat hindi mo siya nabebenta, nasa balance sheet siya. So that means that is an asset which is inventory. Okay? For period costs, these are non-inventoriable costs or the selling actually. Mostly these are selling expense, non-inventoriable costs. Okay? These appear in the as expense on the income statement in the period in which they are incurred. Okay? So, for as to traceability naman tayo, so we have direct costs and indirect costs. Sa direct costs, physically and easily traceable to the cost object under consideration and material. Okay, so ibig sabihin, physically and easily traceable. Okay, makikita. Actually, there's a process for what you call cost tracing. Anong ibig sabihin ng cost tracing? That is the process of identifying direct costs. Okay, like for example, ball pen. So what are the direct costs of this ball pen? Of course, everything that you can see physically on the pen. Okay, indirect costs. Of course, there are things that you cannot see before the application of this. Okay, so before manufacturing actually and after manufacturing of it. So it's a cost that cannot be conveniently traced to the cost of the object. Okay, so mahirap siyang i-identify. So indirect talaga. So as to behavior, we have variable cost. So these are very important kasi ito lagi ang nami-mention especially on the break-even analysis or cost volume profit analysis. Dito papasok yung variable cost which is physically and easily traceable to the cost object under consideration and material in cost. Dito rin papasok yung fixed cost. It is a cost that cannot be conveniently traced to the cost object. Mixed cost contains both variable and fixed cost elements. So, combine siya. I will dig deeper on this on my next topic. Okay, so much better sa CBP ko siya i-tackle. Okay, para talaga ano yung mga variable cost and ano yung mga fixed cost. Okay, so much better I'll go on that. Kasi meron pa rin siyang other type of cost under that. Like for example, sa variable, meron kang tinatawag na pure or real. That means directly proportionate to the level of activity. Sa step, there is an increase in small steps. Okay? Step cost. Sa fixed cost, you have discretionary and committed cost. Discretionary, that is, depends on the management decision to spend a particular amount of money for some purpose like marketing. Meron din diyang committed, cannot be significantly reduced for a short period of time. Okay? Mixed cost, like what I have said, there is a expression actually that you use for this equals y equals a plus bx. Diba? So I will discuss that later in CBP. For now, just get the definition and concepts. Okay, next will be as to controllability. Dito papasok yung controllable cost, cost that can be influenced by a decision. Then, non-controllable cost. Okay, sa controllable cost, cost that can be influenced by a decision. Non-controllable cost, costs that are influenced by another party's decision. Then, as to role in decision making. Okay, so this is the last classification or type. Differential, this is the cost that differs between alternatives. So you have a choice, buy or make. Okay, meron kang opportunity cost. This is the benefits that are foregone by choosing other alternatives. So, okay, mamimili. Pag pinili mo yung isang alternative na to, ano yung mawawala? Okay? Then, sunk costs. These are the costs that are already incurred and paid for and cannot be returned. So, this is sometimes called past costs already. So, you cannot change it. Okay, which one of the following items is a direct cost? Okay, so an example of a theory question. A customer service cost of a multi-product firm. Product A is the cost object. B, printing costs incurred for payroll check processing. Payroll check processing is the cost object. C, the salary of maintenance supervisor in a multi-product manufacturing plant. Product B is the cost object. D, utility cost of the administrative offices. The accounting department is the cost object. So, simple lang. Kagaya ng sabi ko, yung directly can be identified. Okay, so the answer is letter 2 seconds actually. You can answer it. That is B, printing cost. Okay, so recap again. So I gave you the definition and types of cost. Okay, so for the next topic, I'm going to discuss cost of goods. Okay, so again, if you have any questions or comments, please do so. If you haven't subscribed yet in this channel, please click the subscribe button. Okay, thank you so much. Mabuhay po kayo.